Welcome to another episode of Game Boy Roulette, where we take a look at randomly chosen games from the Game Boy library. Super Scrabble. Wait, shouldn't this be on the SNES? There are few board games that are as guaranteed to ruin friendships as Scrabble. Having only vowels, your friends stealing the triple word score, someone playing exactly where you were going to play. It's frankly a miracle that the human race survived this long with how long Scrabble has been around. But that aside, it's one of the more simple but fun board games out there, mostly because all you really need is a decent grasp on vocabulary. And it also was perfectly converted into one of the most popular mobile games of all time, Words with Friends. So this handheld version of the game, with Cable Link 2 player, should be a no-brainer in terms of bringing the game to the small screen. But as we've seen before, sometimes board games take risks when being converted to video games. Some, like Monopoly, are straight up ports of the original, but others, such as Battleship, play around with all kinds of new mechanics. And apparently this one features a solitaire mode, which is what I'm most interested in, because the multiplayer mode will get a thumbs up as long as the game doesn't run terribly. That's the thing, it's kinda hard to mess up Scrabble. Well, unless you're the Nintendo DS version, which featured an AI that would play swear words and got Ubisoft in a lot of trouble. No, seriously, that happened and it was hilarious. I'm kinda hoping and praying they used the same dictionary for the Game Boy. Of course, they gotta make the game look crazy for the box art. My favorite part of playing Scrabble is when the space lasers shoot the adamantium tiles into the neon board in the sky. At least that's what I'm assuming Scrabble was like when this game was released back in 1991. So, how did the wordy classic play on the Game Boy? Mind your P's and Q's, literally, with Super Scrabble. Milton Bradley brought us this one. Made by, Imagineering. They've made a couple games. Super Scrabble crossword game. Welly not. I don't think that's a word. Okay, so we have 2 players, Link, the solitaire mode, but let's just start with basic 1 player. Computer level, How about this? Pick a... what? Oh, MB, Milton Bradley. N? P. Oh, hey, I got closer to A. Pick letters. U, 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 U. I didn't get a single vowel. Get ready for what? I can't do anything. Wait, dump. I'd like to dump this N and this W. What? I selected 2. Okay, I can work with that. Alright, computer, take your turn. Thinking. Oh. A, R, F. Arf? Okay. I guess that's a word when I think about it. Oh my god, I'm a genius. W, A, X. Now, how do I play it? Hit select. They found the word! Oh my god, I'm already way ahead. Alright, it's playing just fine. And really, that's all you can ask for with Scrabble. Thinking. Is EF a word? I'll trust you, game. You are the computer, after all. But I have questions. Zoom. Hang on. Oh, that's nice. The only thing I'm noticing that's weird is that there's a lot of stuff flashing on the screen. Oh. I have an idea. Ha. And we'll play... CAD. That's a word, right? Yes, it is. I'm so good at Scrabble. Found weed. And now the computer thinks. I've heard that sometimes, while looking into this game, I discovered that sometimes the computer can take, like, the full 90 seconds to think. Ick. ICH? Okay, I'm starting to question if this computer's using real words. You know what? 2 can play at this game. What if I play my favorite word? Waxtinesler-E. That's my favorite word. Verify that. Acceptor. Override computer. Wait, what? Override computer ruling. Sure. Wait, what? Wait, I can just... Wait. Okay, on one hand, props for being able to override the computer. So if you're playing a two-player and you play a word that you know is a word that could work, but you can definitely just cheat now in the single-player mode. I just played a wax tenessler, and the computer said no, and I said, but actually yes. Oh yeah, here we go. This is... Let's see how long this one takes to think. I'm starting to think playing this one against the computer isn't the best idea. The actual controls and everything are totally fine, though, so there's no issue with the game there, but, like, it's more on just how the AI works. Oh, you poor, poor thing. Okay, let's check out that solitaire mode. Solitaire. Player level, 9-minute game. Oh, it gives you more time to play, I see. Oh, and it's just about, I guess, getting a high score in the time given. Well, that's kind of neat. Wool. Wait a sec. Oh, don't tell me I can do the cheating thing here, too. This is one of the few times I've seen a video game operate on the honor system. I guess the other option would be you have to have an entire... Well, actually, you know what? I think I like this more than I dislike it, this honor system anyway. Because obviously I can do something like this, where I play Garordum, my favorite Lord of the Rings character. But it would be very possible for them to have a dictionary that doesn't contain all the words, just based on the size. And again, if you want to, you can just cheat the game. Oh, no vowels again. The other option would be you have to go by the rigid, like, dictionary it has. Obviously, there's a lot of room for improvement, but I think this is a pretty early Scrabble video game, I'd say it worked out pretty dang well. Even if I can play words like nilquankle. That's a word, right? Wait, what happens if I say accept? Oh, it just makes me play my turn again. I don't know. Maybe I'll just play it again and tell it that it's correct. Well, that game was, hang on, notable. We discussed earlier the idea of some board games trying to innovate themselves as they transferred into the world of video games. Super Scrabble was a game that chose to not innovate, but focus instead on recreating the feeling of the physical game as close as possible, and for the most part it did that. It was easy to select letters and options and play them, everything was well animated and not laggy, there's not much to talk about because there's really not a whole lot mechanically wrong. The big issue is the presence of a way to simply override the computer's rulings. If you want to play all your letters in gibberish, you can. It's an odd choice to have a game operate on the honor system. And yet, the more I think about it, I can't think of a better way to do it. Not including a dictionary would rather defeat the purpose of the game entirely, but sticking with an in-game dictionary would require putting in hundreds of thousands of words to identify, which, let's be honest, the Game Boy might not be able to handle. So even though it's a little silly to be able to override the computer, I kinda like the system. Sure, it's easy to cheat, but that also removes any fun from the game if you do so. It almost makes it feel like they wanted this to completely replace the board game as a way people play Scrabble, and I dig that. So between the well-done gameplay and the interesting approach to the dictionary, Super Scrabble earns a recommendation from me. If you enjoy Scrabble and can resist the temptation to partake in naughty cheating, then this is definitely worth a play. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to petition Merriam-Webster to add a wax tenessler to the dictionary. And that's all for another episode of Game Boy Roulette. Make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe to follow the series as we continue to dig through the Game Boy vault. I'm Brian J, and I'll see you next time.